Okay, I feel cool. Anyway,
Very
hello
cool, Sam.
everyone. Sawadee krap. Let's start. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Ivan. I'm from Jakarta, Indonesia. Who's been to Jakarta or Indonesia? Ooh, only. Who's been to Bali? Okay. Okay. Same person. Anyway, well, I'm a web GDE, Google Developer Expert for Web, and I'm a senior engineer at HumanMade. I am very excited to be here with you, and thank you for coming to my talk today. And this topic is actually, I'm so excited to share with you because I've been waiting it for a while, okay? But this is about testing, okay? To test your application to ensure its reliability. When you have upgrade or when you have any additional features, you ensure your software still do what it does and still reliable, okay? Speaking about browser automations in real life, has any one of you have feel like when you code or you make something for your application, you feel like it works on my machine, but in client's machine, it doesn't, okay? And also, browser automations is supposed to be, when you test on your machine, it's fast, it's okay, but when you test on the cloud, or you call it continuous integrations or CI, yeah, it's so slow. And sometimes it burns your GitHub action time, and you have to pay a lot more money for it. I do. And it's only run on certain browser, unfortunately. Okay? We have the same problem. So how can we solve it? And tools that we use to automate our browser usually one of these. It's either WebDriver, it's either Puppeteer, or maybe you use Playwright or Test Cafe, or maybe you use Cypress, or it's either one of these, okay? So how it works, actually? It's on high level, and it categorizes into high level and low level. On the high level, usually where we use it, we use either like Cypress or Test Cafe, right? We write our test in JavaScript. We interact with the web APIs through a Node.js, like, okay, browser, navigate to this link and click this button or click that element, and you try to run the end-to-end testing. For example, you run a login process, like you go to a login screen, fill in the username and password and login, and to ensure the login still works. And on the low-level part, we have two protocols. It's either WebDriver, we call it classic, WebDriver classic protocol, and we use Chrome DevTools, okay? As the name suggests, Chrome DevTools only works for Chromium-based browser. So how the WebDriver works? It's usually like this, like your automation tools like WebDriverIO, for example, it uses the browser driver. It's either Chrome driver, Gecko for Firefox, Safari, and Edge driver. It's already built in inside your browser. You can use it, and it interacts from your automation tools to the browser. So let's take example of this simplified demo. You navigate to a URL, and you click on the espresso. So how it works on the WebDriverIO? Code is easy. You set up the browser, Firefox, Chrome, Edge, Safari. You ask the browser, the driver, go to this URL, and then click the espresso link. That's it. This is how it works. Inside, behind the scene. So from the WebDriver, it navigates, it sends HTTP requests. And then the browser driver come back with the same HTTP response, like this. It's nothing special. It's just HTTP, you request, response. It's like a REST API endpoint. That's how it works behind the scene. But the problem and the challenge comes with this number 2. What happened here is when your automation tools ask, okay, navigate to this page, but the element that you are asking or you're looking for is not yet available because the browser still render it. What happened is behind the scene, it has a long polling. Like it keep asking, is the espresso loaded? Is the espresso loaded? Is the espresso loaded? Nope. And until it's time out, then you wasted your time and money on a GitHub action or Bitbucket time. So it's so slow. But the good thing with the WebDriver, it supports cross-browser. It works on Safari browser, it works on Firefox, it works on almost every browser. The not so good part, it is slow and only support high-level control. Now, what happened? What happened? Oh, I didn't press it. Okay, the second part is CDP, Chrome DevTools protocol. As the name suggests, it's only for Chromium browser, and of course you know Puppeteer. It's the browser automation for Chrome. How it works is it doesn't use the browser driver. It directly interacts through the browser through WebSocket. And since it's use WebSocket, it's by default bidirectional. So how we set up on Puppeteer is the same. We set up the browser. We ask the browser to go to the URL, click it. Now, how it works behind the scene is it sends everything, all the command, all at once. Not all, but just it asks without waiting for response. So it's not HTTP request and response anymore. It's just send it and forget it and waiting for the browser to reply through the WebSocket. So there is no long pulling. That's why it is fast, bidirectional. And it also supports low-level control, such as it can intercept network requests. It can also simulate device mode, like you want to, in Puppeteer, you can define, okay, I want to simulate mobile. I want to simulate geolocations, and you want to subscribe to console message. And while WebDriver doesn't support this low level. In summary, CDP or Chrome DevTools protocol, it's fast, it can access low level control, but it's not a standard. It only available in Chrome-based browser. It's not inclusive. So, how we can improve this, and why I'm so excited about this, is how can we combine both of the best from these two worlds? Like, how can we have a fast bidirectional from CDP and have a cross-browser from WebDriver? So if you have two tools and we combine, and ta-da, it's called WebDriver BiDi. It's called BiDi, not BiDi. It's called bidirectional. So it's a WebDriver, and it's support with a WebSocket bidirectional. So with WebDriver BiDi, it's used the same protocol. I can say it's a new web standard, which is getting the technology from the Chrome DevTools protocol and make it as a new standard as a next generation of WebDriver. And it's used WebSocket. WebDriver BiDi is in collaborations between browsers vendor automation tools like Selenium and WebDriverIO, and it's also testing provider. So we have a new tools, we have a new standard, and how can we propose this to the current test? As the good thing with WebDriver BiDi is you can upgrade your code without touching or like refactor your code at all. All you need later on is just change the configurations to make it work with WebDriver BiDi. For example, WebDriverIO version 9 already has a initial support for WebDriver BiDi. All you need is later on, I will say give you example, but it's just a simple configurations, just one line of configurations, and you can use WebDriver BiDi in your test. Same as Puppeteer. Now Puppeteer already use Chrome and Firefox behind the scene, and all you need is just active. Firefox already support WebDriver BiDi by default, while Chrome still use CDP, but you can change it to use WebDriver BiDi. Okay, now let's take example of this page. And now we add one more, which is not possible for classic WebDriver protocol before, which is catch a console errors log. Same like WebDriverIO, all you need is just add WebSocket URL. That's it. Now your test can use WebDriver BiDi capability, and then you can use either Chrome or Firefox, and that's it. Safari, where is Safari? Not yet. I hope so. Okay. Soon. And now we can add one more, to monitor log message, all you need is just like the same like how you do it with CDP, or you can subscribe to the session, and then you can see how the log entry on the console log. This is useful if you want to to test, to ensure that your app doesn't throw any JavaScript error, or you're expecting your application to throw any error, so you can make an assertion or test about it. Okay, so you can do this now with WebDriver BiDi using WebDriverIO. It's not possible in WebDriver version 8 below. It's only possible on WebDriver version 9 above. So you subscribe to it through the WebSocket, and then you can listen it, and you can make an assertion if any JavaScript error asserted right away, and you can ensure your application doesn't throw any error, for example, during your test. This is an example. You can run, and then you can see there is an assertion error inside here, and it's coming from those log error message. So WebDriver BiDi, it can monitor the console log, code exceptions as early as possible. You can log. One thing that I found is useful is when I combine it with the Web Vital, core Web Vital. There is a webvital.js. You can combine it with the webvital.js, and you can log your message where you can track your LCP, largest contentful pane, or your ENP, interaction to next pane, and CLS. So you can log those data during your test. So you can ensure that your application doesn't regress in performance while you keep developing your of your application. And this is useful because you can you can output your text inside the console log, and you can capture it inside the test. And plenty of more. You can see the WebBiDi roadmap, and there are more and more control they are building into this protocol. And it interoperates, that I said before. You don't need to change your code. If you're already using Cypress, Test Cafe, and all other tests, it's already have a support by default if your application or your test already support Firefox and Chrome and also Safari. It will switch between itself. If the test running on Chrome and Firefox, it will use BiDi by default. Sorry, Firefox using BiDi by default. Chrome using CDP, but you can set it. While if the test run on Safari, it will fall back to the previous protocol using WebDriver Classic. Of course, the monitoring console log and everything doesn't run, but it doesn't break your code. Your test will still run as usual. So that's the interoperability and backward compatibility with this protocol. And the same goes with the Puppeteer code. You can set up the browser. All you need is add the protocol WebDriver BiDi. Okay, WebDriver BiDi, and it will use the protocol behind the scene automatically. While the same, like the monitor log message, you can also the same. You already does this if you are using Puppeteer with Chrome, but now you can use this if you are using Firefox with WebDriver BiDi. And that's all. And thank you. Hapun Kap.